Are you ready to feel better physically and experience more flow and more fulfillment in your life? Today, we have three experts who are going to reveal their tips from smart nutrition to powerful feedback and developing a really strong personal foundation so that you can thrive in every aspect of your life. And I'm super excited to introduce you to them. So let's go say hi to our experts. Hi, Libby.
Hi, Laura. My name's Libby Salmon. I'm based in Sydney, Australia, and I like to call myself a preventive health catalyst. My business is Vitality Bites, and you'll find me at vitalitybites.com.au.
Well, welcome, Libby, and hi, Jennifer.
Hello, hello, Laura. My name is Jennifer Foxworthy. I live in Maryland. I am a corporate trainer, motivational speaker, founder and CEO of Inspirationally Speaking LLC. And to learn more, you can go to inspirationallyspeaking.com.
Wonderful. Thanks, Jennifer. Hi, Gwendolyn.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gwendolyn Dolsky. I'm based in Los Angeles. I teach philosophy. I'm a speaker, and I produce an educational podcast called Good is in the Details. You can learn more at goodisinthedetails.com.
Wonderful to have you. And hi, Lorna.
Hi, Laura. I'm Lorna Gale, and I'm here in British Columbia, Canada. I am a speaker and a feminine leadership mentor, and you can find me at lornagale.com.
Wonderful to have you. I am so excited for today because we're going to be talking about optimizing our health and confidence and careers, and from your point of view, your expertise. And so I would like to jump in with Libby, if you could give us, our viewers, some advice on how to optimize their health.
This, there are so many, that's such a big question. There's so many things, but my key piece of advice is to eat whole food. So make yourself stop buying food with labels on it and try the alternative whole option. So, instead of an apple pie or stewed apple, get an apple and create dishes. Get yourself some staple dishes that you can make from home that you can freeze if necessary, so that you've got something you can always, it's a fast go-to rather than off to the supermarket for some microwave meal.
So give me one example of a fast dish with whole foods that one could freeze.
Well, you can make yourself a bolognese sauce, which is easy, really easy to make. It's often one of those foods that people start, a good basic get started with cooking. Or a stir fry sometimes. That's not so great for freezing, but good for leftovers. But the bolognese sauce will freeze. And then you can use it in lots of other options as well. So you can just have it as on its own. You can have it with rice. You can have it with pasta. It's really a versatile option when you do
I
that
love
kind of
that.
thing.
Yeah, you put it with veggies too. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So the easy hack to optimize these. What I love about your advice is that it doesn't have to be hard. And what's hard about a snack, about having an apple? It's like the easiest snack ever, right?
Yeah. Piece of fruit instead of a bag of something.
Really, really good. And of course, when you have your health, you can then optimize every other part of your life. So I wanted to go over to Jennifer and ask for some advice for optimizing, one's career and confidence.
I think it's important to, when you optimize your career, regardless of the industry, is to seek feedback. Constructive feedback is important to a person's success. And it also shows that you're teachable and shows a level of humility. Constructive feedback goes a long way. Don't be afraid of it, is what I would encourage people. Constructive feedback, especially from people that you trust, take it in, absorb it, and execute.
Are you advocating you go out and seek constructive feedback? And if so, who would you say to go get that from?
From a corporate trainer's perspective, when I have a client, it's important that they do a survey, because I don't know everything. Maybe my delivery was off. So it's important for me to seek that feedback because I always want to give someone value. And even within the organization, giving people feedback will be helpful to their growth so they can move up the corporate ladder.
You have any do's or don'ts when giving feedback?
The do's, I would say, use I statements. I observed, I noticed, because then that makes it personal and not accusatory. You did this, you did that. And I always tell people, when you give me feedback, put a little honey on it. Just don't, oh, you're horrible, and leave it at that. Tell me what I did wrong or what I can improve on, and also provide a solution. And many times I don't think people, they're quick to tell you what you did wrong, but they don't follow through as to the solution, the strategies and the techniques.
Yeah, focusing on the solutions, very powerful, and getting that feedback and not being afraid or being afraid and doing it anyway.
That's right.
That's great. Thank you, Jennifer. So Gwendolyn, talk to us about some optimization tips.
Yes, I believe that intellectual growth is one of the pillars to happiness. And I think it gets ignored as one of our strengths. And it's really about the human spirit of curiosity. So when you tap into curiosity, you connect with other people, you connect with your own humanity as well. And a lot of times, if you do content creation, like what I do with the podcast, you might feel stuck on what you're supposed to do. Or if you're not in that and you do doom scrolling, right? You're just constantly receiving information of what other people are doing, and it numbs your mind. So tap into that creative spirit, and other people will be energized by your creativity. And that will get you unstuck and excited about whatever it is that you're going to move forward with.
Awesome. And is there any tips for building confidence and self-esteem you have as well?
I think with building self-esteem, it would be to take note of what it is that you want out of your day. So one of my biggest pieces of advice, and I say this to my university students and to everybody outside of that, try not looking at your phone first thing in the morning. And that is a difficult habit to break. And the reason is because when you're looking at your notifications or even emails or social media, you're doing a couple of things. You're looking at what everybody else is doing, or you're looking at what people think about you instead of starting your day with what you want to get out of the day. So even if it's just a yoga pose or washing your face or reading a newspaper, like a physical one or a book or a journal, do that, something for yourself before you get swept up into the phone and paying attention to what other people are doing.
I love this advice, especially coming on the heels of Jennifer's advice and Libby's advice, where you, first of all, you're taking care of your physical body with nourishment, and you're then with your advice, Gwendolyn, you're taking care of yourself mentally, where you're doing something for yourself. And then Jennifer, you're doing something to grow yourself further. And then also Gwendolyn, growing yourself intellectually and also personally growth. So Lorna, I want to come to you to kind of elevate the conversation to the next level of advice with, and not elevate, I mean, like add to the conversation with your optimization tips.
Thank you, Laura. I love what each of the women have said here so far, because it really brings us back to our own journey from different angles. And certainly what I would bring forward is that we have been taught to look outside of ourselves for so many things, for permission, for authority. And so what I would like to invite people to do is, for women in particular, but for everybody, is to really start to notice when we are asking for permission. Maybe it's, for an example, is you go to a restaurant and looking at the menu, can I have such and such? And instead of asking that permission, is saying, I would like such and such. So it's really starting to really claim our desires, claim our voice, awaken to what is it that we want, because sometimes we don't know. So be in that place of exploration and sometimes pausing. What is it that I want? And then when you notice there's this sense of, oh, I would like.
I love that. It really gives that connection to oneself, that optimized. It's kind of like you've taken all the advice and now we're going to own it. Right?
Exactly.
Beautiful. Beautiful way to step into our power and optimize our health, our confidence, our career, and our sense of well-being. So you ladies are magnificent resources. I want to learn a little bit more about who you are, who do you work with, and what do you do for them? Libby?
Well, I work with a lot of people, but I really love working with men because their understanding of food tends to be they just eat it. They eat what's put in front of them, and so they're not thinking about food in the same way women do. So I really like to educate them about how to read labels, how to choose something, how to prepare food, and just give them that I guess a confidence in the kitchen, perhaps, that women tend to have, the men not so much. And I'm not every man, all men, of course, but yeah, as I'm generalizing.
That's fine. That's great. So tell us, how did you get into this? And
Well, I started fixing my own food, of course, and then I bumped into a friend of mine who I hadn't seen for a really long time. And he told me just as I was leaving, he said, I've just been diagnosed with pre-diabetes. And I said, well, you need to fix your food. And he looked at me quite aghast that maybe what he was eating was not right. And he said, but I don't eat sweet stuff. And I said, it'll be hidden in um, what you are eating. It won't taste sweet. And so we had a lot of conversations about food to help him understand what he was eating. I actually ended up cooking for him for 3 months. And he lost something like, I actually don't know, but in the first 6 weeks, he was able to reverse his diabetes and lost about 12 kilos. And then throughout the rest of that journey, that 3 month time frame, he continued to lose weight, and it just built his confidence in so many ways. It was really lovely to watch.
oh, fabulous. And congratulations. Yes.
Yeah,
Great.
thanks.
And so I want to ask Jennifer a little bit about you. Who do you work with and what do you do for them?
As the founder and CEO of Inspirationally Speaking, I use methods that I learned throughout my military career. So I served the United States Navy for over 21 years, and I retired in 2013 and started my two businesses, a for-profit and nonprofit. So I take the strategies and techniques of building morale, cohesion through leadership development. So my clients could be transportation agencies, nonprofits, uh, senior citizen programs, you name it. How can I help people be more productive and allow the corporate leaders to know that their greatest asset is their employees and that they want to feel safe and have that sense of belonging? And because I worked through the leadership uh, chain of command in my Navy career, I'm able to impart those strategies and techniques to my clients, my various clients.
Wonderful. And is there a short story you have about how you actually transitioned from the military to your current position?
Yes, my very first, what sealed the deal that motivational speaking would be the platform that I would pursue. I had the opportunity to speak to over 200 children, school-age children in Los Angeles. And my message was clear: whatever you decide to do, you be the best at it. Many of them were riddled, their surroundings were gang violence. And just to have someone come in that looked like them, that poured into them meant so much. The hugs that I received, a couple of the students were in tears because they said that their own parents never said these things. And that just spoke to my heart. I found out later that three boys had joined the Navy because of me. And that sealed the deal that there was something that I was saying that resonated with the heart and mind to catapult people to their next.
Beautiful. And thank you for your service and for the service you keep giving. So Gwendolyn, talk to us about who do you work with? How do you work? And what do you do?
I'm a bit wowed right now. So I'm living for your work. Okay, now I'm gonna say what I do. I've been in philosophy from the moment I started reading it when I was an undergrad. I fell in love, and it wasn't until about, let's say, it's been 6 years ago, where I thought I didn't want to gatekeep what we're learning in the classroom. Let's bring this university experience to a broad audience. And that's how it started out. But then I learned from it gaining traction that it was really a way for people to connect, to learn. I wanted to platform good ideas. I wanted to demonstrate the art of conversation, even difficult conversations. We live in a meme swapping culture, which memes can be funny, but they don't have any kind of critical thinking. And I feel like we're divided in our understanding of how to even communicate and even just the celebration of ideas. So who I work with are, different authors, whether it's in entertainment or in academia, my podcast partner, Rudy Sallow, and then of course with my university students. And I have started to help other people launch podcasts. Excuse me, but start to work on their ideas. They come and they don't know where to start. And so I help them outline the first 6 episodes and get to the core of their message and what it is that they want to put out there. So my philosophy journey brought me into podcasting, and podcasting has brought me into helping others find their voice to elevate their business or really just for fun.
Beautiful. And how did you come to this work? Share your.
How did I come to it? I think it was really just a happy accident. I was in Los Angeles. There's terrible commute times, and so I started listening to podcasts, and I thought, I can do this. And it wasn't very far. It wasn't that far in when I realized the power of it. And it was at the height of the pandemic, and there was a lot of Asian hate. And I saw a story by somebody who was a former student of mine who's become a friend. And she talked about being afraid to step outside, afraid for her family. And I wanted to do something. I have a friend who has a PhD in Asian American history, and he teaches at San Diego State. And so I invited him to be on the show. I said, let's learn about Asian American history. What is the beginning? What is the legal structure? What are the cultural impacts? And it was a beautiful conversation. A couple of lessons I learned from that was that my friend who did this is not a blue check mark. Like a lot of people in podcasting or in business, it's like you want to get the big people and that's what you want. Go for the quality. It is the top episode out of 6 years. It is in the top 10 and it stands that way. So go with your gut of what the quality is. The other thing that really stood out to me about that episode was that my friend, the one who prompted me to want to do this, and the academic, they both said thank you, that it was healing for them to share what it is like to be Asian American, to have this richness, to be in a country where there's this turmoil going on. What is it like to be represented in the media and sometimes caricature fashions? And then my students who are of Asian American descent, they heard it. And the thank yous that I got from them really meant a lot to me. And I didn't do it for that purpose. I did it with a spirit of curiosity, a spirit of let's learn something that's not talked about that much when we talk about race and ethnic relationships in the United States. And so let's go ahead and highlight this. Let's highlight the beauty of the culture, the community, and the United States. So I think that a moment that resonated with me was that resonated with so many people. And so I really want to bring that to other people who want to join in the journey of podcasting and the art of conversation.
Beautiful. Wow. Well, thank you for doing that as well. And Lorna, let's hear a little bit more about you. Who do you work with and what do you do with them?
I work with women who, like me, have a journey of feeling that either through our direct teaching, being taught, or message that we're caught, that somehow we are for men. And so because of that, we hide ourselves, we keep our voices quiet, we feel disconnected from our bodies and our sexuality. So women who really have, these are actually very powerful women, and they may not always know it, but they've got a message, a mission within that is ready to be freed. And so I support them in really coming back to themselves. And I use the mirror as an analogy. Not only was the mirror an incredible part of my own awakening, my own spiritual awakening at the age of 47, but I see also that we are living in a mirror. And so where we have this disbalance, if you will, of where the masculine and the feminine are, I say, when we look in a mirror, we're actually see not what is, we see the opposite. So when we can look in the mirror of what is and look through the mirror, we see where the feminine or spirit is in that initiating, leading action or experience, and the masculine comes in support of that. So my work is really about supporting women and reclaiming their power, their sexuality, and their leadership. And I also work with men who are there saying, how can I be the best that I can be for my partner, my girlfriend, my wife?
Beautiful. And tell us how you've helped someone.
Well, it's actually, I work with various people wherever they're at. And some people, it's really to reconnect to their own sexuality in various ways. Sometimes that's through taking them through their own personal erotic practice. Sometimes it is looking at the mindset of the story or the thoughts that are happening. One client in particular that comes to mind, I was taking her through my femdom training, where there was a male there who was in this place of, help me to be in this place of letting go and in surrender. And so I actually love that work because I get to support women in empowering women and men who are seeking to be in this place of letting go. And I'm there. So it was fascinating to watch this woman. It was actually, I was working with her. She had a flogger and we create this consensual place where the man has his safe words, and she was using the flogger. And I took her through this place of stay with it, but I'm going to hurt him. Stay with it. He has his safe words. And to take her to that place where she could actually reach that edge and not being afraid of, but to step into her power, trusting this relationship that had been established, and to realize, oh my goodness, I don't have to hold back. I can be there and trust the process.
Powerful. And it's so unique, not very well known, I should say. So thank you for the incredible work you're doing. And all of you are doing such incredible work. And this is who we have here at Women Speakers Association, women with who are experts in their field, a passion to help people, and really wanting to elevate every aspect of your life. So each of you, I'd like you to just share a little bit. What is Women Speakers Association? What is the value to you? Libby, could you share just 30 seconds?
Sure, thanks. The value for me is in the connection and the learning. So any opportunity I can have to learn and see what other people have done, how other women have navigated the speaking path, that's gold for me.
Beautiful. Thank you. And you're in the right place. Jennifer, how about you?
I have been with WSA for years, and I think the post on social media, just all the tools that are provided for members to just soar like eagles. I think that's, for me, that is the value of being a premier member of WSA, is just the tools, the strategies and techniques, and the community.
Yeah. And we love that. We do the community, and we provide you resources and training and tools all together. So thank you for being a part of us for so long. It's awesome. Dr. Gwendolyn, tell us about the value Women Speakers Association is for you.
Well, I went to an all-girls school, and so being able to, as an adult, reconnect with women who are supportive and have all sorts of tips, that's very, very helpful. And for my business to get more visibility, to step into speaking, not just in an academic sense, but to a broader audience, and that's a real joy for me. But really connecting with women and the way that the women support each other is extremely valuable.
Yeah, I think we do it a little different, women, than what the typical corporate or masculine model is. And speaking of that, Lorna, tell us what the Value Women Speakers Association is for you.
Thank you, Laura. I was actually a member of WSA for 7 years before getting active in it. And it was an anchor for me just to that lighthouse. And I see WSA seriously as this platform that is this shining light that allows women to come out of hiding, that know that there's this community that's here, that their voices, their stories are honored and celebrated and needed.
Absolutely. Well said, all of you. Thank you so much. This has been such a rich episode of WSA's TV. I'm Laura Rubenstein, your host and producer. And thank you so much again for all you do. We look forward to having those of you who want to join us do what Jennifer and Libby and Gwendolyn and Lorna have done. Check us out at joinwsa.com. Consider becoming a premier member or beyond. And we will see you in our community. Thanks, everyone.